Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. The galaxy, a vast and seemingly endless expanse of stars, planets, and civilizations, had long been ruled by a few ancient and powerful species. These beings had spent millennia refining their technology, perfecting their strategies, and mastering the art of war. When humanity, a relatively young species from a distant, chaotic world called Earth, first made contact with the galactic community, few had any expectations that the humans would pose any real threat. They were considered primitive, their world a small, unimportant speck in the grand scale of galactic civilization. But what the galaxy's long-standing powers failed to account for was humanity's unique combination of raw tenacity, adaptability, and the deep instinct for survival that had carried them through their tumultuous history. In the early years of humanity's interstellar exploration, the galaxy's many species watched the newcomers with a mix of curiosity and amusement. Humans had yet to develop the advanced technologies that the galaxy's most powerful civilizations had mastered. Their ships were crude compared to the sleek, highly efficient vessels of the older species. Their weapons were primitive, their tactics unrefined. And yet, it didn't take long for the galaxy to begin to take notice of humanity, for humans were not a species content with just surviving. They had an innate drive to conquer adversity, to push themselves to the edge of their capabilities, and to emerge victorious against seemingly insurmountable odds. It wasn't just that humans were capable of warfare, it was that they were terrifyingly effective at it. In every encounter with more advanced species, humans demonstrated a ruthless ingenuity that seemed to defy logic. They fought with a kind of desperation, a primal will to live, which made them unpredictable and dangerous. Their military strategies were unconventional, often utilizing the environment and improvisation in ways that made their foes second-guess every move they made. Where other species relied on overwhelming firepower, humanity relied on something more dangerous, their capacity to adapt and evolve in real time, turning every weakness into a potential strength. Humans' first major encounter with the Niara, a highly advanced insectoid species known for their hive-mind intelligence and overwhelming numbers, would become the defining moment in the galaxy's recognition of humanity as a force to be reckoned with. The Niara had long ruled their sector of the galaxy, their massive swarms capable of wiping out entire civilizations in a matter of days. Their tactics were simple but effective: overwhelming force, strategic coordination, and superior numbers. When humanity first encountered the Niara on the border of their territory, the insectoids initially dismissed humans as insignificant, just another minor species to crush on their way to further expansion. They sent a fleet to obliterate the humans' small outposts, believing that this would be an easy victory. However, the humans did not flee or crumble in the face of such overwhelming power. Instead, they did what humans did best: they adapted. They studied the Niara, learning their patterns, analyzing their behavior, and waiting for the moment when the insectoids would grow complacent. It was not long before the humans struck. Using clever tactics that disrupted the Niara's hive-mind communication, they launched a series of guerrilla-style raids on their fleet, cutting off the insectoids' ability to coordinate their forces. Human fighters, though outnumbered and outclassed in terms of firepower, used the terrain, the environment, and their own tactical ingenuity to destroy key Niara ships, causing confusion and disarray within the swarm. Within weeks, humanity had forced the Niara into retreat, a species that had once believed it was invincible, now humbled by a race it had so casually dismissed. The battle had been a turning point not only for the Niara but for the galaxy as a whole. The humans had shown that they could overcome even the most formidable species through cunning, adaptability, and sheer willpower. The galaxy was stunned. The Niara, one of the most feared species in the known universe, had been bested by humanity, a species that was considered, by all accounts, a primitive outlier. This victory would set the tone for humanity's future interactions with other galactic powers. The galaxy's established empires began to reassess their perceptions of the humans. Some saw them as a nuisance, a small annoyance that could be wiped out in time. Others, however, began to realize that humanity's strength lay in something more profound than technology or numbers. It lay in their ability to adapt to any situation, to learn from their failures, and emerge stronger with each confrontation. The Niara were not the only species to underestimate the humans, nor were they the only species to regret it. Humanity's rapid expansion into the galaxy saw them clashing with various alien civilizations, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. What they all learned, often too late, was that humanity was not a species that could be easily predicted. In one instance, humanity encountered the K'Artari, a highly disciplined and technologically advanced reptilian race. The K'Artari had long been a dominant military power in the galaxy, their soldiers highly trained and equipped with weapons of mass destruction. The K'Artari, believing themselves to be the epitome of combat excellence, viewed humanity as a minor obstacle in their path of conquest. But once again, humanity surprised them. The K'Artari's military was a machine, a well-oiled, efficient force that relied on precision, structure, and overwhelming firepower. Humans, on the other hand, had no such sense of discipline. They were chaotic, unpredictable, and often fought without regard for traditional military protocols. In a series of skirmishes, humans engaged the K'Artari using unconventional tactics that the reptilian soldiers had no experience with. Instead of facing the K'Artari in open battle, humanity used psychological warfare, misinformation, and subversive tactics. They launched surprise attacks, disrupted supply lines, and created chaos within K'Artari ranks. At first, the K'Artari were baffled by the humans' erratic behavior, but soon, the attacks began to take their toll. The K'Artari, accustomed to fighting predictable, well-ordered battles, struggled to cope with the disarray that humanity had brought to their doorstep. The K'Artari attempted to respond with brute force, but they could not predict the human penchant for subterfuge. Each time they attempted to eradicate one threat, another would emerge, more cunning and more dangerous than the last. In the end, humanity's unconventional strategies turned the tide of the war, forcing the K'Artari to the negotiating table. The K'Artari, a species that had once thought themselves unbeatable, now found themselves acknowledging humanity's terrifying potential. They had learned, as the rest of the galaxy soon would, that humanity was not a species that could be dealt with lightly. It was not just the ability to fight that made humanity so fearsome, it was their unparalleled capacity to learn and evolve in the heat of battle. In the face of overwhelming odds, humanity had a unique ability to adapt and survive, no matter how dire the situation seemed. Where other species might give in to despair, humanity found ways to turn the tide. It was this constant reinvention, this ability to constantly evolve and improve, that made them the most terrifying warriors in the galaxy. Humanity's adaptability was further demonstrated in their ability to survive in the most hostile environments imaginable. Alien species, often sheltered from the harsher realities of nature, found it difficult to comprehend how a species could thrive on a planet like Earth, one where every day was a struggle for survival. Humanity had grown up in a world where life was brutal, where survival was never guaranteed, and where every day was a fight against nature itself. From battling against the elements to fighting off massive predators, humans had developed the skills and instincts necessary to survive. This survival instinct translated perfectly into their ability to wage war. Where other species might falter in harsh environments, humanity flourished. Whether fighting on an inhospitable desert world, in the freezing cold of an ice planet, or in the middle of a raging storm, humans could adapt, improvise, and survive. The combination of their adaptability, ingenuity, and raw determination made humanity the most terrifying species in the galaxy. They did not need to rely on superior technology, numbers, or advanced tactics. What set them apart was their ability to overcome any obstacle, to adapt to any situation, and to fight on until victory was theirs. This relentless drive, coupled with their unmatched ability to learn, innovate, and overcome, made them a force no species could afford to ignore. As humanity continued to expand its influence across the galaxy, they faced more and more challenges, but each challenge only served to prove their worth. The galaxy began to understand that humanity was not simply a species to be feared in battle, they were a species whose very existence was a force that could reshape the galaxy. Every victory, every battle fought and won, added to their legend. They were no longer just another species in the galaxy, they were the galaxy's most terrifying warriors, and any civilization that underestimated them did so at its own peril. For humanity's strength did not lie in any single trait or weapon, it lay in their unwavering will to survive, to learn, and to evolve. It was this that made them a species unlike any other, and it was this that made them the galaxy's most terrifying warrior species.